Today we are unlocking the potential of the latest engineering innovations. Top trending open source GitHub projects this week. Part 1 features 10 game changers. We'll dive into NanoChat, the minimal, hackable, and budget-friendly LLM stack, and gql.tada, which brings magical type safety to your GraphQL queries using TypeScript. We'll also look at Cmux, the universal manager for parallel AI coding agents, and Cloudflare Vibe SDK, which lets you generate deployable apps using only natural language. Let's get started on the step-by-step breakdowns.
Welcome back to Manu AGI Tutorials. Here, we explore the exciting world of AI, latest AI tools for you, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on the latest AI insights. So let's start today's video.
Project number 1, NanoChat, the best chat GPT that $100 can buy. NanoChat stands out because it's built to make large language model development accessible, compact, and understandable without sacrificing the full pipeline capabilities. Unlike many projects that separate each stage, tokenization, training, fine-tuning, inference, UI, one of its most striking features is that it's designed to run end-to-end on a modest budget, a claim encapsulated by its tagline. With the right hardware, for example, an 8x100 GPU setup, NanoChat can perform the full workflow, from raw data processing to serving a ChatGPT-style interface in a few hours. That means instead of needing huge teams or massive infrastructure to build your own LLM, you can experiment with everything in one place. The cohesion is what gives it power and clarity. Another unique dimension is how lean the architecture is. It avoids over-engineering and aims for readability. It doesn't force you into complex configuration or countless abstractions. Instead, it offers a strong baseline you can inspect, fork, and build from. That openness lowers the barrier for learners, researchers, and independent developers who want to understand how all the pieces of a language model system fit together. Further, NanoChat doesn't just aim for minimalism for its own sake. It balances that with practicality. It includes tooling to evaluate model performance, generate metrics, and present a report card summarizing how well it did on benchmarks and real-world tasks. You don't just see it works, you see how well it works, where its limitations lie, and how to improve it. Finally, the community aspect amplifies its uniqueness. Because it's crafted to be forkable and understandable, users can dive into internals, adapt it, and contribute with relatively low friction. The project doesn't sit behind walls of abstraction. It invites exploration. In short, NanoChat is compelling because it condenses the full LLM stack into something you can grasp, tweak, and run without needing a massive budget or team, making the frontier of AI experimentation far more reachable. Before we jump into the next GitHub project, here's something I've been working on that I know many of you will love, especially if you're into AI design and ad creation. I recently created 100+ AI banner ad prompts for NanoBanana, a complete collection of prompts that can help you generate professional quality, eye-catching banner ads for any brand or business in just seconds. You can use these prompts to design tech ads, fashion visuals, food banners, beauty campaigns, and even creative 3D product shots, all directly inside NanoBanana. And here's the best part, all my YouTube Premium members get this full list completely free. For all my regular viewers, don't worry, you can get access through the link in the description below. These are the same prompts I use for my own AI ad projects. So if you've ever wanted to create scroll-stopping ad visuals, this is the perfect toolkit to start with. Alright, let's get back to our next GitHub project. It's another amazing open source AI tool you should definitely check out. Project number 2, Superpowers, Claude Code Core Skills Library. Superpowers brings a fresh twist to AI agents by providing a centralized, extensible library of core skills that any Claude-based assistant can tap into, making it far more powerful, consistent, and modular than piecemeal agents. What really sets it apart is that it doesn't force you to reinvent or duplicate logic every time you build or evolve an agent. Instead, it offers a shared, evolving repertoire of proven techniques, patterns, workflows, and tools, so multiple agents can draw from the same foundation, speeding development while improving reliability. At its heart, Superpowers separates the skills, things like debugging, planning, collaboration, meta-reasoning, test-driven development, into their own repository. These are not hardwired bits of logic, but modular pieces you can add, update, or extend independently. Superpowers automatically pulls, updates, and loads that skills collection, so your agent always has access to the latest enhancements without reworking the entire agent core. Another unique design is its support for /style commands like /brainstorm, /writeplan, or /write plan, or /write plan. These are standardized entry points that map high-level intents to structured internal workflows. Because they are built against the same skill set, these commands behave in consistent ways across agents, delivering predictability and interoperability. Superpowers also includes gap tracking. If your agent can't find a matching skill for a prompt, it logs that gap. That insight helps you evolve the system by pinpointing where new skills should be built. This means your agents grow in capability, not just by accident but guided by actual need. By unifying reasoning, collaboration, debugging, and planning into one shared stack, Superpowers avoids the trap of agents becoming islands of duplicated logic. Instead, it fosters a network of agents that share a high-quality intelligence substrate. It's this commitment to modular, collaborative, and evolving capability that makes Superpowers stand out, transforming the way we design and scale AI assistants. Project number 3, gql.tada, Magical GraphQL Query Engine for TypeScript. What makes gql.tada truly special is how it transforms the way you build GraphQL queries in TypeScript by weaving the type system into the authoring process itself. Rather than writing queries and separately mapping types or writing boilerplate, gql.tada parses GraphQL documents within TypeScript's type system and combines them with your introspected schema and configuration. The result, every query you write is immediately understood by TypeScript in terms of what variables it expects and in the exact shape of the data it returns. Because this happens at edit time, not during runtime, you get live guarantees. Your query fragments, fields, and arguments are checked against your schema, and mismatches are caught long before execution. That ensures your GraphQL usage stays consistent, safe, and aligned with server rules. Another standout feature is fragment masking and gradual unwrapping. gql.tada enforces that you unwrap or access fragments only in patterns you explicitly allow, helping maintain clarity over which parts of data are meant to be merged or controlled. This adds discipline to how you compose components and share fragments. It also unifies schema, scalar configuration, and your queries, so everything is wired together in one semantic system. You don't need external code generation or separate typing steps. The library derives types directly using your introspected schema and maps your GraphQL documents and fragments into types automatically. With all this, your editor experience becomes far richer. You get auto-completion, inline hints, and immediate feedback when something's off. That means fewer surprises at runtime and faster development without jumping back and forth between your GraphQL server specs and your client code. In short, what makes gql.tada unique is its seamless fusion of GraphQL document authoring and the TypeScript type system, bringing you type safety, schema alignment, and smarter fragment handling all at once, so you can write robust GraphQL code confidently and efficiently. Project number 4, Outline, a modern open-source knowledge base. What sets Outline apart is how it's built from the ground up for teams that need a knowledge base that's fast, fluid, and delightful to use. Rather than feeling like a bare-bones wiki or bloated document tool, Outline gives you a richly interactive environment where writing, reading, and organizing your team's knowledge feels seamless. It's real-time collaborative. Multiple people can work in the same document simultaneously without conflict, giving that sense of a living shared space. The interface is striking in how clean, polished, and responsive it feels. Text feels lively, navigation is instant, and the design stays out of your way so content shines. That focus on user experience is rare among open-source tools, and it helps make documentation feel more like building something you care about rather than tending to a chore. Another distinguishing strength is how it blends structured content plus flexibility. It supports Markdown and rich text, lets you embed diagrams, media, and live code snippets, and allows you to link, tag, and structure your content into collections. The balance means you don't lose control by enforcing rigid structure, yet you get enough order to make large knowledge systems manageable. Security and permissions are baked in. You can set fine-grained access, manage user groups, share documents publicly or privately, and host it yourself so you retain full control over your data. The fact that it's fully open source means you can inspect it, adapt it, self-host it, and trust there's no opaque lock-in. Also worth highlighting is how the project evolves publicly. Features, fixes, and roadmap are transparent, and the community shapes its progress. That built-in public ethos ensures it adapts to real team needs rather than staying insular. In sum, what makes Outline unique is that it treats documentation not as a secondary task, but as a first-class, collaborative living product. It's fast, beautiful, secure, and deeply integrated with how teams build software. Project number 5. Cmux, Universal AI Coding Agent Manager. What sets Cmux apart is its ability to manage multiple AI coding agents in parallel under one cohesive interface. Instead of juggling several terminals or switching between disjoint windows, Cmux gives each AI agent its own isolated workspace, complete with a dedicated code editor, shell environment, and Git diff view, so you can verify each agent's work clearly and cleanly. Another powerful feature is how it handles the verification bottleneck. Normally running several agents at once leads to chaos, code changes overlap, context gets lost, and it becomes hard to decide which version to use. Cmux tackles this by enforcing isolation. Each agent operates within its own sandbox, Docker container or cloud environment, with its own Git state and preview server. This way, you can easily compare diffs, test the live result, and pick the best output. What also makes Cmux unique is its agent-agnostic support. It is not locked to a single AI model or vendor. It supports Claude Code, OpenAI Codex, Gemini CLI, AMP OpenCode, and more, letting you mix and match agents to suit the task. Then there's its design around human oversight and control. While agents generate code, Cmux centers human review. You see code diffs, logs, test results, and live previews for each agent's output, not later, but as part of its core flow. That creates a workflow where AI helps you, not runs wild without context. Lastly, Cmux smooths the experience of context switching and task switching. When you assign an AI to a task, it spins up an environment ready for development, so you don't waste time configuring or reloading state when you flip between tasks. It's a purpose-built system for running many agents but keeping everything under control and verifiable. In essence, Cmux is special because it turns the messy complexity of multi-agent coding into an organized, verifiable, and human-friendly process, bridging high throughput with clarity and control. Project number 6, AI SDK Tools, Essential Utilities for Smarter AI Apps. What makes AI SDK Tools truly stand out is that it offers a cohesive, production-ready toolkit tailored to glue together the complex pieces of real AI systems, rather than just handing you isolated modules. It's not merely a library for chat or agent framework, it's a unified framework that ties state management, debugging, streaming, intelligent orchestration, caching, and persistent memory into a seamless stack. One of its strengths lies in semantic state control. Many AI apps struggle with managing conversation state, props drilling, or keeping track of context between user interaction and back-end logic. This tool handles that challenge elegantly, letting state remain consistent across components without friction. Meanwhile, the debugging and dev tools support provides visibility into tool calls, message flows, and execution paths. It turns black box behavior into something you can introspect and understand, which is key when building serious applications. Beyond chat or state, it shines in structured streaming and artifact support. Instead of dumping raw responses, the system can emit typed artifacts or structured data streams, for example for dashboards, analytics, or downstream workflows. That means AI is not just responding, it's producing meaningful outputs you can integrate. Last but critical is persistent memory and caching. To build AI systems with continuity and recall, where an agent remembers past interactions, you need memory storage that works across sessions. This tool supports multiple backends, in-memory, Redis, etc., integrating memory seamlessly into your agent flows, and the caching mechanism helps you avoid repeated expensive computations or API calls, making performance more efficient. In short, AI SDK Tools isn't just a set of helpers, it's a tightly integrated foundation that handles the messy, essential infrastructure needed in serious AI applications. It lets developers focus on intelligence and experience, while abstracting away boilerplate and coordination across agents, state, memory, streaming, and observability. Project number 7, Nanobrowser, AI-powered web automation in your browser. Nanobrowser reimagines browser automation by turning your everyday web browser into an intelligent assistant that works for you, not the other way around. What makes it special is that it combines multiple AI agents inside a Chrome extension, giving you powerful automation capabilities while keeping your data and control local. At its heart, Nanobrowser treats each web task as a collaboration between agents. There's a planner, a navigator, and sometimes validator or supporting roles. These agents coordinate to break a request into steps, navigate pages, interact with elements, and handle failures or unexpected changes in flow. That multi-agent setup means it can manage complex workflows end-to-end, something single-agent tools often struggle with. Another defining feature is that you bring your own LLM, large language model API keys. That means no vendor lock-in, no fixed subscriptions, and full flexibility to use OpenAI, Anthropic, Gemini, Ollama, or any compatible provider you prefer. Because the logic and data run in your browser extension, your credentials and browsing context never leave your control. Privacy is built in. Nanobrowser also gives you a conversational side panel interface where you can issue commands in natural language, monitor progress, and even ask follow-ups. The system provides live visual feedback of what it's doing, so you're always aware and can intervene if needed. Finally, it's fully open source, so you can inspect how it's built, adapt it, contribute features, or trust it deeply. That transparency, paired with the flexibility and privacy emphasis, is rare in powerful web automation tools. In short, Nanobrowser stands out because it brings intelligent, multi-agent conversational web automation directly into your browser, letting you automate rich tasks without sacrificing control, privacy, or flexibility. Project number 8. Oumi, Open Universal Machine Intelligence. What makes Oumi special is how it stitches together every phase of working with large AI models into one seamless open-source system that caters both to researchers and real-world deployment. Instead of forcing you to glue together dozens of different tools for data preparation, training, evaluation, and inference, Oumi wraps all those into a unified experience with ready recipes and smart defaults. One of the standout features is zero boilerplate workflows. Users can jump quickly into fine-tuning or deploying models using provided configurations without having to write low-level glue code. That reduces friction and makes sophisticated model work more accessible. Oumi also supports an extremely broad scale of model sizes and types, from tens of millions of parameters to hundreds of billions, across text, vision, and multimodal models, all under the same umbrella. This flexibility lets creators experiment without switching stacks. Another unique strength is automated data synthesis and curation driven by evaluation signals. Oumi doesn't just train on static datasets, it can propose new training data derived from failure modes, guided by evaluation feedback. That closes the loop between model errors and new training examples. Yet another differentiator is LLM as judge capabilities. Built-in components act as evaluators that can judge model outputs, filter training data, and even propose new data or corrections. That makes the system more self-improving and less reliant on external benchmarking tools. Finally, Oumi is committed to being fully open and community-driven. There's no hidden vendor lock-in. Everyone can inspect the internals, add new model recipes, adapt evaluation methods, or contribute to its ecosystem. In sum, what gives this tool its edge is its ambition to unify the entire lifecycle, from failing outputs to smarter training data to efficient deployment, all transparently and flexibly, so creators can focus on ideas rather than plumbing. Project number 9. Zeitwork. Smart autoloading and code loading for Ruby projects. What makes Zeitwork so special is how elegantly it solves one of Ruby's long-standing friction points. Managing require statements and constant loading in a safe, automated, and predictable way. Rather than expecting developers to manually require every file in the right order, which often leads to load order bugs, missing requires, or circular dependencies, Zeitwerk introduces a convention-driven loader that interprets your file and directory organization to map it directly to class and module names. Unlike brittle autoloading systems that rely heavily on intercepting missing constants and doing heavy introspection, Zeitwerk leans on Ruby's built-in autoload semantics. It sets up those autoload hooks for you based on your file tree, which means when your code references a constant, Ruby knows exactly which file to load, and it does so without clumsy hacks. A standout trait is thread safety paired with optional reloading. In development, Zeitwerk can reload code safely, but only when explicitly enabled, ensuring that in production environments you don't risk inconsistent state. And it's careful about scanning file trees. It avoids repeated full scans by descending lazily, which optimizes performance in large code bases. Zeitwerk supports multiple independent loaders too. Each part of an application or gem can have its own loader, own configuration, and own inflector logic, without stepping on each other's toes. Its inflector system also lets you override naming mappings for special acronyms or exceptions, so your directory names don't have to rigidly follow defaults. In essence, Zeitwerk transforms your project structure into a self-documenting, self-loading system. You write classes and modules in files arranged by conventional names and paths, and Zeitwerk handles making them available everywhere, reducing boilerplate, preventing load order errors, and letting you focus on designing features instead of wrestling with dependency wiring. Project number 10. Cloudflare Vibe SDK. Build AI-driven apps with natural language. Cloudflare Vibe SDK brings a fresh vision, letting people describe what they want in plain words, and watching as a system turns those descriptions into fully functioning web applications. What sets this tool apart is its tight integration with Cloudflare's infrastructure. It's not just an AI wrapper, but a full end-to-end platform built to generate, preview, iterate, and deploy apps all under one roof. One remarkable aspect is the phase-wise incremental generation process. Instead of dumping an entire app in one go, Vibe SDK breaks down the build into stages: planning, foundational setup, core logic, styling, integration, and optimization, and refines each step. That means it's more reliable, catches errors earlier, and can adapt when feedback comes mid-process. Another unique trait is the live preview sandbox environment. As soon as parts of the app are created, they can be run in isolation so the user sees working components right away. This real-time feedback loop bridges the gap between concept and result, making it feel truly interactive. The tool's natural language interface contributes heavily to its uniqueness. Users don't need to learn templates or fill forms, they just tell the system what they want, like a to-do app with dark mode, and the platform interprets, generates, previews, and iterates. What makes this even more powerful is the customizability and control baked into it. You can adapt how the generation works, plug in your own component libraries or design systems, and control how AI agents behave, all while keeping control over user data and deployment. In short, Cloudflare Vibe SDK is unique because it fuses language-driven app creation, smart incremental build strategies, live previews, and deep integration with a serverless edge platform, delivering a cohesive system where describing an app in human terms leads to a fully deployable reality. We've covered 10 distinctive projects that simplify complexity across the engineering stack. These open-source projects provide powerful, verifiable foundations. If you've found your next project inspiration, don't forget to like and subscribe.